In the quiet I learn to trust you. Do not fail, Lord, on the road of thirst for God in the desert. When the wind pushes, your love steadies me on the path, on the road of thirst for God in the desert. Today I bring my weary heart and lay it at your feet, on the road of thirst for God in the desert. When my tears fall, your mercy meets me in thirst for God in the desert. Your voice crosses my inner storm and birds peace on the road of thirst for God in the desert. When my tears fall, your mercy meets me in thirst for God in the desert. Come, amor. When my tears fall, your mercy meets me in thirst for God in the desert. Agor, between shadow and fear, I remember you are faithful in thirst for God in the desert. Between shadow and fear, I remember you are faithful in thirst for God in the desert. Oh, in the quiet I learn to trust you. Do not fail, Lord, on the road of thirst for God in the desert. Agor, I walk in your promise even when I cannot see the end of the path, on the road of thirst for God in the desert. Between shadow and fear, I remember you are faithful in thirst for God in the desert. Agor, today I bring my weary heart and lay it at your feet, on the road of thirst for God in the desert. I sing softly, but heaven hears. Jesus, hold me on the road of thirst for God in the desert. With open hands I receive your grace like living water, on the road of thirst for God in the desert. With open hands I receive your grace like living water, on the road of thirst for God in the desert. I will wait, Lord, let your light rise, on the road of thirst for God in the desert. I will wait, Lord, let your light rise, on the road of thirst for God in the desert. Oh, in every shadow your grace covers. defeats every shadow on the road of thirst for God in the desert. You are the light that defeats every shadow on the road of thirst for God in the desert, nasty and stunned. You are the light that defeats every shadow on the road of thirst for God in the desert. Oh, if I fall, your hand will raise me again on the road of thirst for God in the desert. I surrender, your grace is enough on the road of thirst for God in the desert. I surrender, your grace is enough on the road of thirst for God in the desert, nesting stunned. Your promises rock, my heart will not break on the road of thirst for God in the desert. Your voice crosses my inner storm and bursts peace on the road of thirst for God in the desert agore. With open hands I receive your grace, like living water on the road of thirst for God in the desert agore. When my tears fall, your mercy meets me in thirst for God in the desert ocean. In the quiet, I learn to trust you. Do not fail, Lord, on the road of thirst for God in the desert, nesty and still. When the wind pushes, your love steadies me on the path, on the road of thirst for God in the desert. Come on, oh, your voice crosses my inner storm and bursts peace on the road of thirst for God in the desert. Come fair, your voice crosses my inner storm and bursts peace on the road of thirst for God in the desert agore. I sing softly, but heaven hears Jesus. Hold me on the road of thirst for God in the desert ocean. When the wind pushes, your love steadies me on the path, on the road of thirst for God in the desert agore. With open hands I receive your grace, like living water on the road of thirst for God in the desert. Come faith, I walk in your promise even when I cannot see the end of the path, on the road of thirst for God in the desert agore. Your voice crosses my inner storm and bursts peace on the road of thirst for God in the desert. Come fair, in the quiet I learn to trust you. Do not fail, Lord, on the road of thirst for God in the desert. Come fair, I walk in your promise even when I cannot see the end of the path, on the road of thirst for God in the desert agore. the road of thirst for God in the desert agora. In every shadow, your grace covers me whole. In every shadow, your grace covers me whole. In every shadow, your grace covers me whole. I rest in you, Jesus, my hope will not die. When the world shakes, I stay. You are my refuge, I sing, and my heart can breathe. You are my peace, and I worship you, Lord, with all I am. I sing, and my heart can breathe. You are my peace. When the world shakes, I stay. You are my refuge. Teach me to love when I only want to run on the road of thirst for God in the desert ocean. Lift me, Jesus, above the storm on the road of thirst for God in the desert.